So, that's the goal. The goal is like to get the utility room set up to where like I can keep that party wear that's in the den right now. All that extra stuff. Like I want to have that in there. My picnic basket, things that you would store in your utility room. Things that you use once or twice a year. But they're worth it enough to keep. I just am that kind of person. I am a proud non-member of the minimalist group. I am a proud member of the non-minimalist group. Now, does that mean I'm a hoarder? No. Again, people, black and white. There is many shades of gray. Do I keep more things than you prefer to keep? That's fine. Do you keep less things than I prefer? That's fine. We each have our own. It's fine. I am making compromises with my husband. I don't know that he's making compromises back. I feel like in the moment he might be, but in the long run, then he gets back to like basically I have 100 things. He wants me to have 20 things. We meet at the, I don't know, 60 thing mark. Well, now when I'm at 60 thing and he wants me to have 20 things, he wants me to meet him at 40, and then 40 and 20 and 20 and 30. So like, he's not really compromising with me. He's just allowing me to slowly come to his, to his side of the table, which I'm like, hon, it's just, you're not focusing on the positives of like what I'm doing, what I'm trying, what I'm giving away. You're only focused on that as more. And that's not fair. People get on me about like how uncomfortable he is living in his house, but how uncomfortable I would be living in, like when I used to go visit my mother-in-law when I first moved Jimmy, I was not comfortable in that house. That house was very uncomfortable. They didn't have any decor. Like they looked like renters who just moved in as opposed to people who've lived there for 10 years or 5 years. I think it was 5 years or whatever. So it's just like, it's everybody's got their own. They have their own, everybody's got their own experience. Everybody's got their own upbringing. Everybody's got their own desires and wants and needs. But I appreciate everything he's trying to do. I appreciate everything that he's doing. I am so grateful for my family. I am so grateful for you guys. I'm so grateful for my friends. And it's just, I'm grateful that Mom has been here she checks on me every day now. Since Jimmy went back to work. I told you guys, like, when I first hurt myself, she really hadn't even visited me to check on me to see how I was doing, which I don't mind about, but I would see her every day in the living room. She would come back and forth and get her coffee, and I'm not coffee. She would come back and forth and get her Coke, or come out for lunch, or, we would talk, how's the day, get the mail, whatever. And again, she likes her own private space, and that's okay. But when I was stuck in here, I really didn't see her for like 3 or 4 weeks, she didn't come to see how I was doing or whatever, which I don't care. It's fine. But checking on her too, like she would answer text messages and how she's doing. Are you home? And thought I heard somebody go and Jimmy was out, and she was, we'd talk like that. But so when he was planning on going back to work, she came in and she sat down and we talked, and she did visit like right before that. Well, he had started filling out applications. So she came in and visited, and how's everything going, and what kind of, tell me about your pain, tell me what's going on, what did the doctor say, all this stuff. So it was a good visit. And ever since Jimmy's been to work, she's checked on me every day. She texts me when she's up from her morning nap, and then she checks on me every day at lunchtime to see, do I need lunch? Which my schedule is weird, so lunch isn't always at 12 o'clock. So I'll tell her, I'll be like, well, I didn't have breakfast that long ago, and it was a big breakfast, so maybe lunch later, or she'll be like, that's fine, just let me know. And she's been really, really, really sweet and really, very, very helpful, and I'm so grateful to have her here. Jim as well, the day I had the spillage, she had come in that afternoon, and she had told Jimmy but didn't say anything to me. She said, why didn't she tell me she needed help? And I was like, I was kind of embarrassed. Like, it was, you guys think just because I share everything with you, which I'll address in a second, that I'm not embarrassed by it. I mean, it doesn't embarrass me to the point where I can't talk about it, but it's like, it doesn't make me feel good to talk about it. Now, the sharing the things on my channel, and I've had a lot of people like, of course it's always the negative people that are public, the negative people get out there, and they just want to share whatever problems they have with. Why do you have to talk about your BMs? Well, for the 4 people who private messaged me, who have been completely insulted by your negative comments and shared with me that I've taught them something. You know, not everybody knows that when you take a laxative, you have to drink a lot of water, or a laxative won't work. Because a lot of laxatives work with the water in your body. And if you don't drink water, a lot of people don't, at a certain age, don't want to drink too much water because they have to go to the bathroom so much. But that, then the consequence is then you're dehydrated, and then your laxative won't work, and you won't have BMs. You won't have good, productive bowel movements. And that's important. Bowel movements are important. How cranky do you get? Everybody get when they're constipated. Like, bowel movements are important. So like you guys are like, some people are like really offended when I talk about that. But first of all, we'll go this again. This is my channel. It's mine to do with, if I talk about medical updates, like if the title is actually medical updates, you can expect there's going to be some medical talk. I'm not just going to talk about my feelings, and I'm not going to share crafting tips when the title is medical updates. Plain and simple. So I do this for the 4 women that reach out to me privately and private message me and tell me that, thank you. I didn't know that you need fiber and laxative and perhaps a stool softener. I didn't know that you needed to drink water when you took fiber. I didn't know you needed to drink water when you took a laxative. I didn't know that XYZ foods could, like whatever I shared, we talk in private. And those women are what I do it for. The reason those women don't comment publicly mostly is because the way that I'm attacked publicly. So they don't want to be attacked. People don't come onto YouTube to watch a video so that they can feel like their personal stuff is being attacked. So I just feel really bad. Things are gotten like really bad in the comments. There's been a lot of like really negative people, just like, it's really funny is that just like people have, I feel like, nothing better to do, and that's kind of sad in a way. It's actually not sad in a way, it's totally sad, but I just feel like, do something more productive with your time, I guess, this way I feel. And then why? I feel like why? I can tell, and Jimmy and I actually sat down to do a Q&A to address this stuff yesterday, to address all the stuff that's been said in the comments. Basically, I had a lot of people ask me a lot of questions in the comments that were negative. The way that they presented them were negative. They also made some statements that were negative, things that they didn't understand, things that, why are you doing this, why are you doing that? Or you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. We sat down and I listed them all on my phone. I made a list. And we sat down and we talked through them. And I told him, I said, I wanted to just give you the heads ups on the questions. Since I knew them, he should know them too. And he said, I would say the question, like perfect example would be laying in bed 24/7. So they're like, somebody had said, what doctor would recommend you laying in bed 24/7? No doctor would recommend you laying in bed 24/7. Why are you laying in bed 24/7? How do you not get, I'm surprised you don't have bed sores laying in bed 24/7. So, okay, I said to Jimmy, I'm like, Jim, I have actually said in the videos, I don't lay in bed 24/7. That I move, that I sit up, and then I'm practicing sitting up, and then I toilet myself. I told him like all the things, and he knows the things that I do. So it's not like telling him the things that I do. It's telling you guys like, and he's like, you've said that in videos? And I was like, yeah. And I've said it in the comments. And he's like, well, then why are you going to address it? Oh, you're right. So check it out. And that's what the entire list was. The entire list was, people come in my comments and don't watch all the videos. I actually had I pinned a comment from a subscriber who got onto them because they're like, don't you watch? She said this, she said that, and she got so upset from me, and I so loved it. I didn't love that she got upset. I loved how she took up the mantle for me because she was right. That's one of the things that's the most frustrating is, what are you talking about? Like, what? Like, what? I never said the doctor said stay bed 24/7. I never said that. What I said was the doctor said, don't bear weight on my right leg. What my husband said was, and whether or not he's admitted to this to you or whatever, what my husband said was, I don't want you doing anything to make your injury worse. That's what he said. Now, before that, I was in bed the whole time because I was in pain. Now, another thing we talked about that was on the list was we talked about subjective. Pain is subjective, and everybody has different tolerances. And if your pain's a 14, how can you talk and vlog and this and that? And I was like, I know. I said to him, I'm like, I mentioned it before, that talking actually helps. Like, talking to you is a distraction. Talking to my friends on the phone and my family on the phone. Having company here. It's a distraction from the pain. If I just sit here and just, yes, that's what I feel. I feel pain. My pain's not a 14 anymore. My pain was a 14 on the first day. People are like, you can't talk if your pain's on a 14. Obviously, I was exaggerating. The scale goes from 1 to 10, 10 being the worst pain you've ever felt. Then obviously it's a 10. Okay? Don't be stupid. Obviously, I was exaggerating. And there was no 14 on the scale, so it can't be 14. That being said, yes, 10 was the worst pain that I've ever felt. Does that mean it's the worst pain you've ever felt? Nope. Does my knee problem, hip problem, is that the worst that you've ever felt? No. Does that mean you can live with it and I can't? Yeah, that's what it means. Right now, it is the worst pain that I've ever felt. I never had a baby. I was never in a car accident. I never had like cancer or back injuries or whatever. This was the worst pain that I've ever felt, including my knee surgery 10 years ago. This was worse than that. So people are like, if it's the worst you've ever had, you can't really talk. You can't really, like all these things. And I was like, listen, the day that it was the worst, before I was able to start to overdose myself with ibuprofen, I didn't talk to anybody. I spent the whole day crying. I cried until I could find a comfortable position for a minute or two, and I couldn't find a comfortable position for like hours at a time. Then I started just overdosing on ibuprofen. And I know I was overdosing on ibuprofen. But it was the weekend and I couldn't get to the doctor on Sunday. Like it was Sunday, and the hospital system, the hospital here is not a good hospital. I'm not trying to diss anybody. It's got some very good qualities, but overall it can really not be a great hospital. That's all I want to say about it. So going to the ER is a last resort for me. It really, truly is. So I overdosed on my ibuprofen. I tried taking 600 milligrams every 4 hours, and it was no good. And then I upped it to 1,000 milligrams 800, and then 1,000. And finally I got to the point where it was like I was taking 7,000 milligrams of ibuprofen. And I told you guys in the vlogs those days that I like messaged my doctor, and then she wasn't getting back to me, and all this stuff happened until I finally got the gabapentin. And the gabapentin was 100 milligrams, and that still wasn't enough. And the ibuprofen was 600 milligrams, and together they just weren't quite enough. So she upped my gabapentin to 300 milligrams, because that's how you have to kind of like wean up. It is so much better. It is so much better. I don't even feel like pain in my hip that much, to be honest. The pain now comes exclusively from my leg and my thigh. And I don't know that it didn't always come from there. It could have just radiated to my hip. Lisa made a very good point. I don't know if I talked about this before, and I'm sorry if I did, but Lisa made a very good point that you don't just have bone on bone one day. You don't just, your cartilage doesn't disappear overnight. So I don't remember having hip pain. Like every once in a while I'll be like, ick. But I think I did talk about this already, so I'm sorry if I'm on repeat. But it just doesn't happen overnight like that, and something must have happened, and I feel like whatever happened to my femur or to my knee that affected my femur is what the actual pain was. And I know that now because I don't feel a hip anymore, and it's just the leg pain. And all of the medication regimens are not making the leg pain feel a go away. They're making them feel tolerable. And that's another thing we talked about. How much pain can you tolerate on a regular basis? I had this really long comment about a lady whose husband's a doctor and who watched my video and gave his professional opinion, which, by the way, I think is crap, because I have a friend who's a doctor and she's like, can't even give my professional opinion over the way. I'm like, I will tell you to go see your doctor, whatever, besides the point. It looks like her pain's a 1 or 2. I'm like, well, listen, I love you, but I lived every day with my pain being like a 3. Like I lived every day for the last 30 years with my pain being a 3. So this is not a 1 or 2. Just because I can deal with it and I can smile through it and I can talk through it and I can breathe through it doesn't mean it's not a 7 or 8. Really, it doesn't. So I just want to like, listen, you're not in my body. You haven't walked a mile in my shoes. You haven't lived my life. Stop judging me based on your knowledge of what you know about yourself. I don't get on here and say, hey, the whole world is like this, or whole world is like that, or everybody who has this pain has this thing. I don't do that because I know that there are no absolutes when it comes to things. Certain things have no absolutes. Absolute zero. That's the only thing I know about that's absolute. So, that being said, I was feeling really good the last couple of days. I don't know if you watched the vlog about the technology. That was actually I filmed on Friday before I read all of the crazy comments. So that's why I didn't address those crazy comments in that video. Friday was such a great day. I had a really good day on Thursday. Wednesday night I took... Okay, so the doctor prescribed me Tylenol codeine for PRN. It was supposed to be for at nighttime. When I got home from the failed attempt at the double MRI on Monday, I had to take one because the regular pain medication, the cream, nothing worked. Nothing was working. So I took one about 5 o'clock and I finally was able to like, okay, breathe, not cry, just live, go potty and those kinds of things. So Tuesday was still terrible. Just still so terrible. Wednesday was worse. I don't know how Wednesday was worse than Tuesday. The only thing I could think of is if I had some sort of endorphins that wore off. I don't know. But Wednesday was the worst day since Monday. Monday was the worst, and then Wednesday was the second worst. So Wednesday night, I actually took a Tylenol codeine to go to sleep, and I slept so well on Thursday. I woke up I slept so well, on Thursday. I woke up and I felt so good. I had rested so well, and it was the first time I had rested since Sunday night. I had rested so well. I was so happy. I was in such a low pain number that day. I had company. Jimmy had a good day at work. There was just so many good things going on at once, and I felt just so great. I had such a great day on Thursday that I didn't need to take the medication at night. So Friday I woke up and I felt great day. I went to sleep. Saturday, it was awful. My brain just was like all of these negative things people were saying, and I wasn't taking any of them to heart. But what happens is, and I know people won't believe this, and I don't care if you believe it or not. This is the truth. The truth is, I don't feel bad for myself. And I've told you guys I feel bad for my subscribers who take things personally. But I really feel bad for the people who put the comments in there, because their lives just make me feel like they're so unhappy. I just feel so bad. I'm like, why are you so unhappy with your life that you feel like you have to try to bring people down to your level of unhappiness? It's just so terrible. And I kind of get on with the world. And, everything that's going on with Afghanistan and the troops, and there's just so much negativity already. Like, why do we have to be hateful to each other? And what bothers me? These people think that they're Christians, and then you're like, why do you have to be hateful in Jesus' name? That just bothers the freak out of me. That's not my Jesus. Anyway, I got chapped lips because I was super dehydrated yesterday. Actually, it started Friday, but anyway, so yesterday, was it yesterday? Because I felt so good on Friday. Yesterday I was like, oh, you know what? Let me lay off of the Voltaren cream. The Voltaren cream is supposed to be PRN every 4 hours for pain, and I was like, really wasn't in. Like, the medication was helping. It was in pain until I took my meds, and then after I took my pills, it would, like, stave off a little bit. And I knew that because it was the weekend, I wasn't going to be doing a lot of... I did, like, just the laying in bed leg exercises. And what I did yesterday was I sat up in bed for 6 minutes. I know. I'm going to be there any second. Oh, and I really tried. But after that, that was, I guess, that was close to the evening. No, actually, that was in the morning. That was in the late morning. I sat up for 6 minutes, and I should have just laid back down after 5. Because after that, I felt my leg, like, for the rest of the day. I felt it. I still laid off the Voltaren cream. I just tried to rest it. I tried to rub it, that kind of thing. So I ended up getting the Voltaren cream at night before bed because it was, yes, please. I shouldn't have done all the things I did today without it, that kind of thing. If you're interested, it's like an anti-inflammatory, topical anti-inflammatory. Like, it helps with arthritis and stuff. I found the best price actually at Sam's Club. At Walmart, you get 5.8 ounces of generic for $17.98. At Sam's Club, you get 2 5.8 ounce tubes of name brand for $35 and change, which is like just change less, but you also get a free 1.5 ounce tube. So you actually get an extra 1.5 ounces, which is 100 grams. Is 100, Alexa, how many grams are in 1.5 ounces? Alexa, how many grams are in 1.5 ounces?
1.5 ounces is about 42.5 grams.
So it's 42 grams. So 42 grams is, at 4 grams each, is what do we say, with 10 doses. We'd say 10 doses. So, yeah, it's like getting 10 doses for free. And hey, I'll take it, That makes it cheaper. Plus, I get free shipping with the Sam's Club card and everything. So, yeah, that's that. What was I going to say else? What else would I going to say? Oh, so that's, okay. So after talking to him, I was like, he was like, you addressed all these things with them already? And I was like, well, I've talked about them. Like, I just think that people aren't watching the whole vlog and they're picking and choosing out what they want to. And they're getting on there and they're like blasting me for it, which, but he's like, then don't make a video. He's like, I'll make it with you if you want to. I said, well, the only benefit to having you make it is that when I sit here and tell everybody stuff, he's like, and you could, you being here is just like backs it up. I'm not just, basically I'm not just BSing my way through it. And he's like, well, what do you care? And I was like, you're right. I don't care. So he's like, just hide the user. See, that's what the thing, people like, you just delete my comments. I'm like, no, I actually hid you from actually ever being able to speak again. If you ever just got your comment deleted, then that's probably Jim did it. If I hid the user, if you don't come back and you can't comment anymore, that would be me. Because I don't need it. It's my panel, it's my change. It's my panel, my change. It's not my page, it's my channel. It's my channel, and if I don't want the kind of negativity in my comments, I don't have to have it. I thought it was kind of ironic, though. I think that the video that got the most hate comments was the one that I said about not really, I don't really respond well to tough love from just anybody. And that's when I got like the most. And I was like, okay, so I shouldn't have said that, because that just opened people up to be like, she doesn't like hate comments. She doesn't like, constructive criticism. Let's just, whatever. It's whatever it is. If that's how you want to spend your time and your money, I'm fine with it. I'm okay with that. You go ahead and do that. But I ended up having to turn the comments off for that day, for that video. And I think I might turn them back on, but for right now, I'm not. And I don't care. So, there's that. And it's mine to do with if I please. And if what I was actually contemplating was actually like a free subscription service. So there's a way for you to share your video with just people in a link. Like, you just can share them with certain people. And I was kind of like thinking, yeah, I wonder if I should just like have like a private mailing list and like If you're negative, then, you know, give me your Gmail email address. And if you're negative, you'll never come back and kick you out and only send the emails to certain people, only send the videos to certain people, because I don't do this for attention. I don't do this. Well, I guess there is attention. I take that back. It's not for attention. It's to share. I like to share. I like to share. I like to teach. I like to be able to say something to you that may connect with you, or say something to you that you never heard before. That's what I like about this. But, you know, whatever you feel like the reason is I'm here, that's fine. That's on you. That's not on me, boo. So, I turned it out. It ended up being one of those videos anyway. Look at the hair. Beep, beep. I feel like the Cupid doll. Remember Cupid doll? Beep, beep, beep. But anyhow, okay. So, I am going to go because I can tell it's getting close to medication time. Do you guys take a pain medication on a regular basis? And then you can tell when it's about 30 minutes from the time you're ready to take it again. That's my body is like, whoop, hey, it must be 6:30 in the morning. It's time to take your pain medicine. But listen, I love you. Please, 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 if somebody says something in the comments that affects you, please contact me and let me know. I will remove them. I will talk to them, or whatever it is. It depends on who it is. Obviously, some people say things that that could be taken out of context. Some people English is not their first language, so sometimes they say things that seem hateful but aren't really. Like, I know them, so I know that that's not what they meant. But if it affects you, I want to know, because it's really about how it affects you. Then I will discuss it with them, or fix it, or explain it, or whatever it is, okay? Yes. You can direct message me on Facebook Messenger, on Instagram, even on Twitter, if you're on Twitter. I know I mentioned that I'm not really on Twitter. Like, I don't constantly tweet. However, whatever I share from Instagram goes on to Twitter. So if you don't have Instagram and you have Twitter and you want to follow the pictures and stuff there, you can. You can see my stuff there. That's why. And I realized that I have a lot of people following me on Facebook. But when Instagram was bought by Facebook, or shortly after Instagram was bought by Facebook, they created a business page for me. Now, everything that I share on Instagram goes to my Jeri-Ann Henson business page. So if you want to follow me there is a link to it in my bio, or you can just, it's in my bio, or you can go search my name and you'll see the picture. That's the icon for my YouTube, is the icon for my business page. So if you follow me there, then you'll get to see all the things that I share on Instagram, on Facebook. Because I had a friend reach out to me, a friend I grew up with, and she said, I haven't seen you post in a while. Are you okay? And I'm like, first I thought she meant on YouTube. And I was like, no, I mostly been vlogging because I have this injury. And she's like, oh, no. She's like, okay. And then I was like, no, she means on Facebook. Because what was happening is it used to share all of my Instagram to Facebook. And even though I wasn't posting on Facebook a lot, every time I posted on Instagram, it would go there. And now it's going to the business site. So that's what she meant. And I was like, oh, let me fix that. And I went on to Facebook and I let everybody know on Facebook. But if you're interested in following my business site, I guess I should put a link to that in the description box down below. I may not remember to do it, but I bet. Did I trigger everybody? I may not remember to do that, but if I do, it'll be down there, okay? That's it. That's all I could think about. I love you. Thank you. I love Jimmy, and I thank Jimmy every day. And I love Mom, and I thank her every day. And I love Lisa, and I thank her every day. And I love Sharon, I thank her every day. And all my sisters, they're amazing. And my sister-in-law is amazing. And my sisters-in-law. And I love my friends. I love my YouTube friends. I love all my friends that I met on YouTube. And I love all my family that I met on YouTube. And I love you guys. As always, you take care. God bless. We'll see you next time. Bye. Bye. Bye.